So here is a comparison of my three personal favorite headphones. These are the ones I grab most days. These ones get the most use. Mostly for when I'm traveling, these ones get grabbed, and mainly because they fold up. So this was my first pair of, I would say, high quality over the ear headphones, the M50Xs. These ones specifically have been abused. I'm a little ashamed at how much these things have been thrown around, kicked around, and they still sound great. These got a lot of hours in airports, traveling, stuff like that. And when I bought these, I remember thinking that they were just so high-end by comparison to everything else that I've owned in the past. Prior to these, I've had cheap $10 garage sale headphones that I had over the ear and earbuds. And I bought these originally for traveling because I was stuck on a plane and there was babies screaming. Now these don't cut out all the sound, but I can tell you they definitely help. Now, these are the Brainwaves hybrid memory foam ones that I got years ago. You can see that they're kind of collecting crap. They still are very comfortable. They're still holding their form. They're still more comfortable than the original pads that these came with, but they're kind of gross looking. They haven't started cracking or anything like that yet. But that being said, I did have to replace, or not replace, but I put on this headphone saver, because if you look, the band underneath is starting to crack. I don't know if you can see. It's starting to wear. So if you're gonna get a headphone like this, that is one thing I would recommend, is to spend the $10 or whatever it is and get this sleeve to protect it. So like I said, a headphone for every occasion. These ones are for when I'm not in the house and I'm traveling. One of the things that my biggest grievances with this one, and by the way, these are monitors, they're very accurate sound. I'll get to these guys later. This is the cord that I use most times. It does come, I think it came, the one I got, I think came with 3 cords. This is the one that usually gets thrown in my backpack. Look at that connector. Now it is removable, which is great, but it's a proprietary Audio Technica connector. So replacing this thing, if this ever breaks, which by the way, I have had to replace this. I had it happen where something got dropped just right, snapped it off. So I have had to replace these. I will not spend good money on a pair of headphones that does not have a removable cord. That is just me. I don't care how good they sound. That is a matter of principle, because everybody knows that is the first thing that is going to get damaged on a headphone. Beyond that, a lot of plastic. They do swivel. Just a sturdy headphone. The best headphones you're gonna find, in my opinion, for under $200. Now, speaking of $200, these guys are also Audio Technica. Big fan of anything audio with Audio Technica, especially headphones. These pads that came with these were better, but I still ended up replacing them. But these ones I ended up replacing with the lambs, or the leather memory foam ones. They're not, they're leather all the way around. These are years old. They are holding up, and they look just as clean as the day that I bought them and put them on. Just for what it's worth. They are considerably more money than the ones with the foam on the inside. So then with these guys, like I said, you're spending $100 more. In my opinion, they sound better than the M50Xs, but they are very much more bassy, hence the name, solid bass. But for what I'm using these for, these usually are at home using using these for watching movies, so the high bass is a good thing. But they aren't like monitors, like for example these dudes are. So just be aware of that if you're buying them. And again, these are pretty new. The headband is in pretty good shape. That being said, I still got the sleeve on it just to protect them. So you're looking at another $50 above and beyond the $250 purchase price. Now, one of the pros with these is that this is just a standard connector, so you can replace also the cord on these, and you can replace it with just about anything. Doesn't matter on the brand. It is not a proprietary connector. That's one thing that they got right. But again, that's an extra $100 more than the M50Xs. So I always wanted a pair of open back headphones. Audio-Technica has some. They have some very nice ones. If you're willing to spend $2,000, or there's another set I believe that is approaching $400. There are cheaper ones, but they don't have a cord that you can disconnect, which to me is just ridiculous, because these are ones that are in that price range, which both have detachable cords. Come on, Audio-Technica, you should know that by now. So started shopping around. The Hifiman, these guys kept coming up in searches as far as the price range I was looking at. So we're looking at each one of these is $100 more every time you go up into the bands. Build quality in these, now you're seeing a lot more metal. The metal mesh, this is all metal. There's a little bit of metal on the solid base. On the M50Xs, it's basically all plastic. So the headband is metal with a little leather thing that kind of wraps around your head. Because that tension is actually perfect, I would say, at least for my size and shape head. The cones, the actual where your ear goes, I think I mentioned before that these are classified on the site that I bought them on as an on-ear. These my ear definitely fits in there, so over ear. I don't know if that's something that's on Amazon that's listed that way or what, but again, open back. These guys do not leave the house. These guys stay right on my couch. I listen to, I know this is going to sound ridiculous. You have a $350 pair of headphones that you listen to audiobooks with, but that is primarily what I listen to on these. Again though, these are special use. Very clean sound compared to these two. Extremely clear. Not as boomy a bass as the Audio-Technica. That's not to say that it doesn't have good bass. It's just a very clean bass, a very clean sound. This is more if you're going to be listening to a lot of like club music or something. These guys are going to have more bass, not to mention $100 cheaper. But these two, closed back headphones, open back headphones, these ones I wanted really accurate sound for books and movies on my couch. When I come home and relax, these are the ones I pick. These are the flagship compared to these two. These sound good. In my opinion, these sound better, but is it $100 better than the solid base? Well, that's up to you to decide. I will say I think it's diminishing returns. So from the price tag from these to $250 more for these, not to mention the cord on this one sucks. A top of the line cord is going to be another $50. Not to mention these pads. I'm not crazy about the pads. They're okay, but I'm definitely not going to be raving about the pads. Pads can run $40 easily. These were, I believe, $40 for these other ones, the Brainwaves ones, which happen to be my personal favorite at the moment. Another thing about these guys that I didn't mention, These do not, this is as compact as they get. So if you're traveling like me, spending a lot of time on a plane, these are gonna take up a lot of room in your backpack. These ones squish easier when you're traveling, which matters, especially if you're trying to stuff your backpack underneath the seat in front of you. These guys I would not trust to take out of the house, as I said before, but that's just me. Headphones for every occasion. Let me know anyone else has any recommendations for open cup, open back ones. Curious to see what other brands would compare well to these. I do really like the base on these. It's not a sloppy base either, but it's more, I would say, I don't know if stylized is the correct word, but it's definitely not as clean as the Hifimans. These, it's there, something blows up, it's there, and it doesn't linger, I guess. So that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you next time.